Welcome to my lecture number 17 on Fourier series and Fourier transform. In this video, we are going to discuss time differentiation property of Fourier transform. Now, in time differentiation property, okay, so differentiation in time domain. Right? Now consider one signal xt and its spectrum Fourier transform is capital X of j omega. And by this property, differentiation property, what we will get, if we take derivative of this signal xt, then its Fourier transform will be j omega times capital X of j omega. So now try to prove this one. Okay. Now we'll start with inverse Fourier transform. So if we consider inverse Fourier transform, then xt we can write as 1 upon 2 pi times capital X of j omega e to the power minus plus j omega t and d omega. It's minus infinity to infinity. Now you see in this case you have the signal x of t, this is the time function, and right side this is also a time function e to the power plus j omega t. But capital X of j omega, d omega, these are all frequency. Okay. So if I take derivative, now take d dt on both sides. Okay. So what you get? The left hand side will become the derivative of this x, and right side you will see it is 1 upon 2 pi. This x of j omega will remain same because it is independent of time. Now this one, derivative of this one, okay, I'll write in different color. This is your j omega times e to the power j omega t and then d omega. Right? Now we can rearrange this one as 1 upon 2 pi and integration. This is your, okay, I'll consider this j omega, I'll consider here, and capital X of j omega also I'll consider here. Okay, and then we'll multiply e to the power j omega t and we'll integrate with respect to d omega. So this indicates that, so left hand side this is the time domain signal and this one is the corresponding frequency domain signal. Okay, in other words we can say the Fourier transform of dx dt. So Fourier transform of dx dt, its Fourier transform will be this one, this green one, that is your j omega times x of j omega. So it is the same thing, this one. So this is proved. So it's a simple proof. Now we'll try to understand few applications of this property. Now we consider some use of this one. The first one. Suppose if we want to find out the Fourier transform of the pi function pi t upon 2 capital T. So what is the Fourier transform of this signal? Okay, that we want to find out using this time differentiation property. Okay, so now our signal we draw our signal. This is a gate function, pi function. This is the time. This is minus capital T. It's a plus capital T. So total width is 2t, and it is centered at 0. Thus, it is a pi function centered at 0, t minus 0, and width is 2t. Okay, and amplitude is 1. So this is your signal xt, which is denoted by pi of t upon 2t. Now if I take derivative of this signal, okay, so time t. Now if we take derivative with respect to this one, then you see the when t is less than minus t, it was 0. So derivative is 0 also. But at t equals to minus t, there is a sudden change from 0 to 1. That indicates that the slope is infinity. Okay, so you will get one impulse here. Okay, it's positive impulse. It's changed from 0 to 1, and that we'll call it del t. Del, it is located at plus minus t, so it is del of t plus capital T. Right? Now, from minus capital T to plus capital T, it is constant, so derivative is 0. Okay. Again at plus t, here you will have one certain change from 1 to 0, so it's a negative change, negative slope. So we can have like this, and this is again on del function, but look at it at t equals to capital T. So this is your derivative of x dx dt, right? So what you can do, so now we can express this dx dt as it is having two components. One is del t plus t, another one is minus del t minus t. Now from here we can find capital X of j omega. That is possible to find out, but be careful one thing. So while you will take derivative, then if original signal xt is having some DC component, then after taking derivative, the DC component is lost, because derivative of a DC signal is becoming 0. So if you want to get the Fourier transform of x of j omega from here using the time differentiation property, then you have to make sure that signal is not having any DC component, original signal xt. And if it is having some DC component, then you need to take care of that one. Otherwise you will get wrong answer. So this is important thing. Okay. Now we'll use differentiation property here. So if you take Fourier transform on both sides, so left side by the property, it is j omega times capital of j x of j omega, right? And right hand side, this is, so del t, it's a time shift. Okay, so you'll have a frequency shift there, phase shift there, sorry, phase shift. Okay, and del t, we understand that del t, its Fourier transform is 1. So del of t plus capital T, it will have a phase shift of capital T, positive one, phase advance. Okay, so it is e to the power j omega capital T. So that thing we discussed in our previous lectures. Please follow the previous lectures. And this one is a time delay corresponding to phase delay, and it is negative sign. So minus e to the power minus j omega capital T. So if you simplify this one, then capital X of j omega will be simple e to the power j omega t minus e to the power minus j omega t upon j omega. So that one, so this X of j omega. So what I can do? So I can consider this one e to the power j omega t minus e to the power minus j omega t upon 2j. Okay, so 2 we have multiplied here, so I need to multiply numerator as well, 2, and this omega I'll put it here. So you see this one, this is your sine function. Okay, so thus you will get x of j omega is simply 2 upon omega, and it is sine omega capital T. So this is a sinc function that we discussed earlier. So if you consider a rectangular pulse, okay, get function, then frequency will be a sinc function, right? Second one, if I consider a signum function, signum t, now what is the Fourier transform? Right? So signum t, you understand that so if positive side is 1 and negative side is minus 1, it is for time t, this is your signum t. Okay. Now obviously its DC value, average value is 0. Okay. If you take any from here to here, okay, if I consider from this to this, from minus t to plus t, you see area under this curve is going to be 0, because this is your t into minus 1 and this is t into plus 1. If you add these two, then it will get 0. Then if you make t tends to infinity, then also it will become 0. So if this value is 0, so safely we can use our differentiation property, and then we can get back or we can find the Fourier transform of signum of t. Okay, so our signal xt is now signum of t. So derivative of this signal. So you see derivative how it look like. So left side it is constant, so it will remain 0. Okay, this will remain 0. Right side constant, it is also remain 0, but only there is certain change from minus 1 to plus 1 at t equal to 0. That indicates that you will have a impulse at this location, right? And now this change is from -1 to +1, so the change is 2. Okay, so 1 minus -1 is 2. So 2 times del t. That is important. Okay, so thus we can write that derivative is simply having this function 2 del t. Now if you take Fourier transform on both sides, so this one it is j omega, capital X of j omega, and right side is 2, and del function is term is 1, is constant, and thus capital X of j omega is 2 upon j omega. So the signum function, its spectrum is 2 upon j omega. Right. Now I'll consider one case. So UT, we know that UT signals, unit step signal is the unit step signal and its Fourier transform. How to find? So can I find the Fourier transform of UT using differentiation property? That is interesting. Okay. Now UT is defined in this way. The right side is 1 and left side is 0. Okay, this is UT and this is 0, 1. So this xt equals to UT. Now here you have to be careful because this signal left side is 0, right side is 1. So average value is half. Okay, so means it is having a DC value here is half value. Okay, so this is the half. That you need to take care. Okay, otherwise it is fine. Right? So due to this half, as it is having on DC signal half, its Fourier transform will be half times 2 pi del omega. Okay, that means this is your pi del omega. You will get one term pi del omega in your Fourier transform of UT. That would be there because this is the DC value. That corresponding frequency domain, you should get a impulse at omega to 0 that indicate that it is having a DC value. Okay, so that we need to include at the end. No need to, don't forget to include this one. But without this one, so what I can take that derivative of this one, if I take, you'll see the derivative dx dt, it will have left side is 0 because it's constant, right side is constant, it is also 0. Only there is a certain change at t equal to 0, so you will find an impulse here. Okay, and that magnitude is only del t because it is 0 to 1. That is a change. Okay, so what I can do, we can write that this dx dt is simply a del t. That implies taking Fourier transform. This is your j omega capital X of j omega equals to the right side. The Fourier transform of del t is 1. So capital X of j omega would be 1 upon j omega. But remember, this expression we have got without considering the DC component, because this DC component, whenever you will take derivative, and this information is lost. Now we need to include this information in original x of j omega. Thus, the x of j omega, that is the Fourier transform of ut signal, should have both the component. One component is 1 upon j omega, and the DC component is this one, pi of del omega. Right? So this is the most interesting point to note, because after taking derivative, this is lost. But again, we can find the Fourier transform of ut just including this DC component. Okay. Fourth, very similar thing, this one. If I consider a time domain signal like this, okay, this is your t, this is 1, this is your 2, and this is a signal xt. Right? Now, what is the Fourier transform? Means x of capital X of j omega. So how to find the capital X of j omega for this signal? Now if we take derivative, okay, so you see this DC component, let's say this DC component at 1, but derivative will become 0. Okay, now if I consider this is plus minus capital T, and this is your plus capital T. Okay, so at minus capital T, there is sudden change from 1 to 2, just gap is 1, I will have a impulse here. That is your del function located at t equals to minus t. And again, from minus t to plus t, it is constant at 2, so its derivative is 0. And then one sudden change at plus t here, but it is downward because 2 to 1. Okay, and this impulse is, this is at plus t, thus it is del t minus capital T. This is to t. So this is the plot for derivative. Now you see, you have got exactly same derivative when we discuss the rectangular pulse or gate function located from minus t to, so this one. You see, if I consider a gate function like this, with the minus t to plus t, it is 1, its derivative also like this. The meaning is that the DC component, whatever it was present here, that is ignored. Okay, so basically this x of t is 1 plus pi of t upon 2t. Okay, so whatever we will get from here, so we should indicate that this one, we should have a Fourier transform of 2 pi del omega. Okay, and then we can consider this dx dt, and then we can have dx dt equals to this del t plus capital T minus del t minus capital T, and then we can have the same approach what we have done. So from here, taking this property, differential property, Fourier transform on both sides, you will get this is j omega capital X of j omega, and right side is e to the power j omega capital T, e to the power minus j omega capital T. Then if you simplify it, you will get x of j omega is 2 upon omega sine of omega t. Okay. So original signal capital X of j omega should include both this as well as this. Okay. It is 2 pi del omega plus 2 upon omega sine omega t. So from here only we can find, if we know that, okay, the Fourier transform of pi of t upon 2t is 2 upon omega sine of omega t, because by principle of linearity we can get this one. Okay. Now fifth, suppose if we want to find the Fourier transform of e to the power minus at u of t, what is the Fourier transform? So this x of j omega we want to find out without taking any integration. Okay, can I use differentiation property to find x of j omega? So this is a well-known signal, the exponentially decaying signal, and you know that its Fourier transform will be 1 upon a plus j omega. Okay, but we need to prove this one using differentiation property. Now, so we'll draw the shape. The time. So you see this function is an exponentially decaying signal. Left side is 0. So it will start from 1. Okay, this is your e to the power minus at u of t. Okay, this is your xt. Now, if you take derivative of this signal, then what will you get? So you see, left side is 0, and at t equal to 0, there is certain change from 0 to 1. So this indicates that you will have an impulse at t equal to 0. Thus, if I consider derivative dx dt, then first of all at t equal to 0 there is an impulse, means del of t. And then this function derivative, its value is e to the power minus at, derivative is minus a times e to the power minus at. This is a derivative of e to the power at, but this will exist on the right side only. So again we'll multiply u of t to indicate that this function is existing on the right side. That's all. So this is the derivative of this function. Now if you take Fourier transform on both sides, so what you will get? Okay, so by this differentiation property, left side is j omega capital X of j omega, and right side derivative of, so this Fourier transform del t is 1, and now you see this is exactly a times xt. Okay, so its Fourier transform will be a times capital X of j omega, right? So now we can simplify it. If we bring this one to left side, then j omega x of j omega plus a times x of j omega equals to 1. So you see this is a, this is j omega times x of j omega, that is equals to 1, that indicates capital X of j omega is 1 upon a plus j omega. And you see, this signal is not having any DC component reference because it is going towards 0, time limited. It is going towards 0 at t equal to infinity. Okay, so thus it will not contain any impulse here in frequency domain. So this is the final. Okay, the Fourier transform of e to the power minus at ut. Next, if we consider one signal like this type of staircase, okay, this is your xt, its value is suppose 2, this is at 1, and this is suppose if it is minus 2, this is minus 1, this is plus 1, this is plus 2. Okay, so if you take derivative of this signal, so what you will get? So you see the derivative signal will contain at 2, minus 2, minus 1, plus 1, plus 2. So there's a certain change here from 0 to 1. So there's one impulse. So it is del t plus 2. And then again, there is the impulse at minus 1. It is del t plus 1. There is no change here. Derivative is 0. And again, there is a certain change, but it's 2 to 1. So one change, but negative. This one, it's a del t minus 1. And then again, one more change. Here, it's again negative. It's del t minus 2. Okay, so this is your dx dt. So you see, we can write dx dt is having these components. Okay, del t plus 2. Okay, I'll include this one minus del t minus 2, then del plus del t plus 1 minus del t minus 1. Then if you take Fourier transform on both sides using differentiation property, you see it is j omega capital X of j omega. So this is first one is e to the power j 2 omega minus e to the power minus j 2 omega. Then this one is e to the power j omega minus e to the power minus j omega. So I can consider these two and these two. So if I simplify it, I'll get capital X of j omega will be e to the power j 2 omega minus e to the power minus j 2 omega upon j omega plus e to the power j omega minus e to the power minus j omega by j omega. Again, similarly, I can multiply 2 here and you can multiply 2 here. Okay, so 2 here, 2 here. So it will become a sign. It has become a sign. So you see, capital X of j omega is becoming 2 upon omega, and it is sine 2 omega. First one, and second one again 2 upon omega, and it is sine simple omega. And this result is a little bit obvious because x of t we can express as, so one get function is this one from minus 2 to plus 2, that is pi t upon 4 the width is 4 plus over this there is one get function that is pi t upon 2. So from this one, first one we will get 2 upon 2 by omega sine of 2 omega, and for this is 2 by omega sine of omega. Okay. Now 7. If I consider a signal like this, it's triangular signal. So minus capital T to plus capital T, and this amplitude is 1. This is of T. So this is signal xt. So what is the Fourier transform? Can I find the Fourier transform of this signal using differentiation property? Okay. So if you take derivative, what will get? This is a minus t, this is a plus t. Okay. So if we t less than minus t, it is 0. So derivative is 0. And right side slope is 1 upon t. So this height is 1 and this x, the t change is capital T. So slope is 1 upon capital T. Okay. And it is a constant slope. Pi is slope. So that we can indicate as a positive constant slope up to 0, and its value is 1 upon t. And right side from 0 to capital T, it's a downward slope, negative slope, and again slope value is 1 upon t, but it continues up to plus t. So I'll have this one. So this is your minus 1 upon t. Okay. That means the dx dt, derivative of this one, will have one get function that is centered at minus t by 2, and second another one is plus t by 2, center point. Okay, so one pi function t plus t by 2, and with this capital T, this with this capital T. Okay, and this is the slope is 1 upon t, that also it should include 1 upon t times these things. And next one is slope is this one is magnitude is minus 1 upon t, and that times pi t minus capital T by 2 upon capital T. So if you take Fourier transform on both sides, so this one is j omega times x of j omega, and this is your 1 upon t times, and this we understand that pi of t upon 2t, it is 2 upon omega sine omega t. So pi upon t upon capital T will be 2 upon omega sine omega t by 2. So half that we can use it, and if there is a shift, the advance, then you will have a phase advance. Okay, so it is 2 upon omega sine omega t by 2 and times e to the power j omega t by 2, and minus this one is 1 upon t again, it is 2 by omega again sine omega t by 2, but due to this time delay you will have a phase delay j omega t by 2. So if you simplify it, then x of j omega, you see 1 upon t, 2 upon omega is multiplication, and sine omega t by 2, that is common, and this one is e to the power j omega t by 2 minus e to the power minus j omega t by 2 j omega. So again we can multiply 2 here and we can multiply 2 here. Okay, then this will become sine omega t by 2. This omega is there, so what you will get, this is 1 upon t, you see this is 2 4 by omega square, and sine omega t by 2, again sine omega t by 2 means sine square omega t by 2. So we can write 2 upon omega sine omega t upon 2, and that's square. So in other words, x of j omega is sin square. Okay, so get function will have a sin function, for triangular function we have a sin square, right? And this also we can do using convolution property. Okay, and that is very simple. So you see, if you take a convolution, between these two, minus t by 2 to plus t by 2, and this is 1, and again if you take convolution with the same function, minus t by 2 to plus t by 2 for time t, and this is 1, then in time domain it will be like this. So you see, if you shift t up to this one by capital T, then only you won't be having any overlap. So up to minus t, beyond that it will become 0. But when t is more than minus t, right side, then gradually it will start overlapping. So it will increase. So area is increasing, and you will have maximum overlap at t equal to 0. That is there. And then again, to reduce the overlap, it will become 0 at capital T. Okay, and height will be, so total area at t equal to 0, the overlap, no? So this is 1, and this is, again, multi is 1 into 1 is 1, and with this capital T, so 1 into capital T is capital T. Okay, so Fourier transform of this one. So therefore, by convolution property, the Fourier transform of this signal, if it is height is capital T, it is minus t, it is plus t, its Fourier transform will be, and we know that by convolution property, in frequency domain it is simply multiplication. For this one, we already understand that it is 2 upon omega and sine omega t by 2, this get function, and 2 times multiplication, so you will get its square. So height is capital T, so we can divide t on both sides. Then obviously, if I want the height 1 here, and this is minus t, it is plus t, this time t, then we should divide by capital T. Thus it is 1 upon capital T, 2 upon omega, and sine omega capital T by 2, and its square. Right? Good. Now, just we can have one more. I think it's 8. Suppose if we try to understand the Fourier transform of this signal. Okay, this is a minus t, it is a plus t, and this height is 1, this is your xt. Now can I use differentiation property to solve this problem? Okay, so for this one we want to find out x of j omega. Now if I take derivative, it is a minus t, it is a plus t. So you see, when t is less than minus t, it is 0, perfectly 0. And when plus t more than plus t, it is also 0. Now at t minus t, there is a change from 0 to 1. They indicate that you should have a impulse here. Okay, that is your del t plus capital T. Similarly, at this point, there is this impulse here downward. It is del t minus capital T. Now, here this is a negative slope. Okay, from minus t to 0, and its slope value is minus 1 upon t. So that I can indicate here. This is your minus 1 upon t. And similarly, from 0 to capital T, this is 0, you will have positive slope. It is 1 upon t. Is it correct? So, derivative property, you can use it. So, what you will get? dx dt is this del t plus capital T minus del t minus capital T. And then, so this positive, okay, this negative, I am considering negative. And then, okay, I take common. This is your pi function. T located at minus t by 2. So, plus t by 2 upon capital T minus pi t minus t by 2 upon capital T. Right? So now it is very easy. If you take product transform on both sides, you will get j omega x of j omega. So this one will be e to the power j omega t minus e to the power minus j omega t, and product transform this one. Okay. So that, so this one already you have computed. This is sine 2 upon omega sine omega t by 2, and then this one is e to the power j omega t by 2 minus e to the power minus j omega t by 2. Right? So x of j omega, if you simplify it in similar manner, so here you will get sine omega and 2, so it is 2 upon omega and sine omega t, and minus, okay, one amplitude I have forgot to include, so this will be 1 upon t. Okay, so this will be 1 upon t. So this will be this is 1 upon t, and this here, from here again you will get 2 upon omega sine omega t by 2. So 2 upon omega sine omega t by 2, and that square. Right? And this is, it is also obvious, because this xt, we can consider that there is a get function up to this one minus t2 plus t, and then you need to subtract this triangular function, so minus t2 plus t with 1. You will see, you will get the same result, because if you subtract, then it is reducing gradually, it is becoming 0 here at 0, then it will grow. That means for this get function you are having this sinc function, and for this triangular you are having a sinc square. Okay, thus this is your x of j omega. Right? So in this way we can apply differences property for different signals for to compute x of j omega, but be careful, whether the origin signal is having some DC component or not. And you see, this is purely time limited signal and there's no DC component. So this is the final one. Okay. So I'll stop here. And if you enjoy my video, then please subscribe my channel to get my future videos. Thank you.